Hello everyone and welcome back to my Dragon Age Origins Let's Play. I took the liberty of going level up, so I don't have to do it now. And now that we've finally woken up from our dream, we shall explore the actual tower, not the Fate. And we will of course take stuff, because in the circle, all mages are brothers and sisters share.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Congratulations on your test.
Thank you.
Don't know. Gregor hasn't said anything yet. And shh. Yeah, there's no one here. Someone's always watching. I swear it's like the walls have eyes. Hey, did you hear about that apprentice they're going to send for? Shh.
No, do go on. He's right. There's no one here. Come on. Ah, you're no fun.
Yes, is there something you need?
That's a big door.
Yes, it is. Do you need something, or are you just here to state the obvious?
Can you open the door?
The Knight Commander would have my head if I did that. Besides, I hear it takes no less than 4 grown men to open this door.
Well, 4 grown Templars. I can't leave then?
No, you may not. I'm surprised you ask. I would have thought you'd be used to this idea by now.
Why can't I leave?
Only mages on official circle business are allowed to leave the tower, and the first enchanter has not informed us of any mages leaving the tower today.
I am here to inform you that the first enchanter said I was allowed to leave the tower. Aw. Is this the only way out of the tower?
The only safe one, as far as I know. There are windows on the higher levels, but surely you don't need me to warn you of the dangers of leaping from them. It never ends well.
The only safe one as far as you know. That projects authority, I guess. What's out there?
For Eldon, it's not very interesting. Mostly farms, the occasional river.
I should get going.
Make a smile fortune on you.
It is begun.
Hear what? I heard they suspect someone of dabbling in blood magic. Why would anyone do something so stupid? That's a death sentence. That's what I hear anyway.
That's really weird how it's randomly much quieter. Sorry, I have no idea how to avoid it or why it happens. The best I can do is put you in position, or us, I guess, in position where we can read the text.
I wish I could leave the tower once in a while.
I heard Humbert volunteered to take the right of tranquility. How awful.
How awful that he volunteered and wasn't forced.
It shall be done.
Must control the fire with your will. Keep the flames steady. We don't want it sputtering and leaping about. That's what causes most of the injuries.
Injuries? But...
Steady. It reacts to your emotions. If you panic, it will... No. Breathe. You know, in my experience, flint and tinder works just as well. Maybe we should start with that.
His scream was very silent. Also, you can use flint and tinder to do magic? My god, I've been lied to all my life!
Was the harrowing scary? It must have been. Why else would they call it that?
Very good. And what do you think that means? Can anyone tell me?
Hey!
No, that's not what it means.
It means that magic should be used to help people, but we can't use our magic to force people to do what we want.
That's right. We should not abuse the gift the Maker has given us.
Gerda told me the Templars watch us while we bathe. I hope that's not true.
I would not be surprised, honestly.
I like ponies.
So insightful.
I can't wait to learn the fire spells. It looks like fun.
Ah! And then you want ponies.
I can't wait to learn the fire spells. It looks like fun.
Does your mentor give you lots of homework too?
Not anymore, haha!
Boys are better at magic than girls.
I remember when you were this age. Adorable.
Adorable. I'm still adorable though, obviously.
Concentrate, hold the shield. If I put all my power behind that spell, you would have been obliterated. I am not your enemy. Fear is your enemy. It is a weakness that can be exploited.
No?
Then stand firm and know you can resist whatever I throw at you. Again.
I'm terrible at spells. You're lucky you're so talented. How does it feel to be done with the harrowing?
It feels like I just woke up. And now I have to run errands. I think. Well, I have to go see the first enchanter. I assume there will be errands involved.
Jowan's been acting weird all day. Have you seen him?
I have seen him.
I can't wait for my harrowing.
As you say.
As I say. 'Tis a tranquil mage.
Welcome to the Circle's stockroom of magical items. My name is Wherein. How may I assist you?
What is the stockroom for?
The stockroom stores components used in magical and alchemical experiments. Do you require something?
Are you really a tranquil mage?
I voluntarily submitted to the rite of tranquility. I was unwilling to undergo the harrowing. I find this state agreeable.
Don't you think what they did to you was cruel?
Tranquility has its merits. I see the world with clarity. I remember the days when my mind was filled with inconvenient and seething emotions. Now things are simple.
What was becoming a tranquil like?
It is difficult to describe. I would perhaps compare it to being plunged into a pool of ice-cold water.
What happened during the Rite of Tranquility?
I was ordered to never speak of it. I cannot go against the Circle's wishes.
And now you're no longer a person.
My body is similar in form to yours, possessing an equal number of limbs, appendages, and internal organs. I perform the same physical functions. My mind is capable of higher thought processes. Am I to be denied personhood because I do not feel as you do?
My body is capable of performing the same functions. So, I poop, therefore I am? I like it. A person is more than just physical parts.
I have thoughts and memories. I remember my past, my childhood in the tower, and my apprenticeship. These experiences defined me. My lack of emotion simply adds to what is already there.
Perhaps you're right.
Personhood is not measurable. Therefore, we should let this rest.
I should go now.
Very well. Goodbye.
And we have broadened our horizons.
If you want something from the stockroom, you must speak to Wherein.
Why can't I just walk around you and pick it up? Like, in these bags or whatever.
Is there something you need? You must speak to Owain.
Good day.
Good day. I'm not talking to that guy. This guy. Right here. He has nothing interesting to say.
It shall be done.
This bookshelf is empty. Okay, fine. I'll show you that there's nothing to say.
Oh, hello. I don't believe we've met. Are you new to the circle?
You might remember me as an apprentice.
I'm sorry. There are so many of you, and I get confused. Not to mention, these old eyes are starting to go.
Maybe someone could help you fix them.
You're too kind. I'm old and about to fall apart. Nothing in the world can fix that.
Magic could.
Not any magic I'd be caught doing. Anyway, did you need something?
I just wanted to talk.
I'm not good at talking. Too much chatter makes my head throb. Don't you have lessons to get to? Shoo!
Well, at least it's a short conversation.
Do you need something? If not, step back. You're in my light.
I just wanted to greet another of my kind.
Are you surprised? We are probably more attuned to magic than humans are. Or at least our ancestors must have been. With most of our history lost, I suppose I'll never really know. Maybe the Dalish elves would, but I've never met one.
Dalish elf?
They live in the wilderness, traveling where they will. I've heard they keep the old beliefs alive.
I wish I knew the old language.
As do I. Perhaps one day I will have the chance to learn it. Are you from an alienage? I'm from a farm outside Highever. My mother worked as the cook's assistant there.
So, for those who don't know, an alienage is a walled-off part of a human city where elves live. Not all of them, but most of them. Those elves who get jobs as servants of nobles usually live at their estates. I lived in Lothering.
I suppose it doesn't matter where we're from, does it? We're in the circle now.
I suppose that makes us luckier than other elves.
I am satisfied knowing the humans who look down upon me will fear me instead. But I should get back to my books.
Goodbye, then.
Good day.
The Chantry would do something before it came to that.
Will they? They haven't done anything, and I've heard that the Equitarians are starting to soften a little on the Libertarian position.
Sympathy for a position isn't the same as support. Yet. As far as I know, most Equitarians prefer to remain allied with the Loyalists. You can see why, don't you? Just think of what the Chantry would do if suddenly the Circles were petitioning for more independence, or even a split.
Won't be pretty.
Ah, those short-sighted Libertarians. They'll get their way and take us all down with them.
If I get too close before they finish the conversation, Niall here says,
I think someone's here to speak to you, Senior Torren.
This, and interrupts their conversation, so you never get to hear the whole thing. Kind of annoying if you're trying to.
Hello. Congratulations on your harrowing last night. Good work.
What were you talking about earlier?
Oh, the fraternities of the Enchanters. You probably haven't heard of them. It's best not to get tangled up in circle politics. More trouble than it's worth, really.
Tell me about the fraternities.
They're found in all circles throughout Thedas. Groups of enchanters who hold similar viewpoints, who band together to make their voices heard. The most influential fraternity are the Equitarians. They are moderates and believe in a code of conduct that all mages should adhere to. Then there are the Chantry apologists, the Loyalists. The Chantry says something and they follow it to the letter. The Lucrosians just want to make money, and the Isolationists would like us all to be hermits and live on an island. Then of course there are the Libertarians. They want more power for the Circle, more autonomy.
Which do you belong to?
Well, if I had to, I'd say I was an Equitarian, but I ducked out of the fray a long time ago. Most of the senior enchanters are Equitarians. Irving, Wynne, Sweeney. Ulrid's a libertarian, and a loud one at that. Mages have enough opposition from the outside without tearing our circles apart with infighting. But what can you do?
I should be going.
Fair enough. Good day to you.
To this guy right next to you.
Hello, were you looking for something?
Who are you?
I'm Njal, a mage just like you. I've seen you around, haven't I? I must have.
What were you talking to that other mage about?
Oh, the fraternities. Groups of mages with a common agenda. I think we should all be isolationists. Stay in some remote mountain town far away from the mundanes who hate us.
If we run away, they'll never learn not to fear us.
They'll never learn that. They don't want to. I'd go hide alone in the wilds if I could. But you know they just brand me an apostate and hunt me down. There is no leaving the circle. It's till death do us part. Romantic, isn't it?
Well, I'm sure it was meant to be romantic initially. Anyway, even mages that never were in the circle are apostates. Apostates is a term for all mages outside the circle. Not just those who leave the circle. Apostates?
If you leave the circle, you become an apostate. And the punishment for leaving is death. Pretty grim, huh?
There must be mages who aren't part of a circle.
I've heard of hedge witches who've managed to survive on their own, eluding the circle for a lifetime. But if the Templars discover them, well, you know what happens. Then there are stories about the Dalish elf clans having great magic. But who knows what's truth and what's fiction when it comes to the Dalish?
Watching Torin looking left and right during this conversation was very important, obviously. I should get going.
Alright, have a good day.
No codex entries from him.
Oh, excuse me, I didn't hear you come in. I'm sorry, I'm terribly busy right now. I have to prepare the room before the Grey Warden is done at his meeting with Irving.
This guy sometimes stands before you talk to him, and then he's kneeling at the beginning of the cutscene. Witchcraft, I tell you! What's a Grey Warden?
They are an order of brave and noble warriors, sworn to give their lives to defeat the Darkspawn. You know, I almost became a Grey Warden once.
Really?
There were several of us chosen, though the Grey Wardens only wanted one recruit. They only ever have one mage, you see. I think they thought I was the best candidate, but I was young and foolish, and I said I wasn't interested. They picked someone else instead, and that was that. I've regretted it ever since. Oh well, I should get back to my work.
So yeah, the Grey Wardens, I believe, have one mage from each circle.
It is begun.
Oh, I got the staff. Thank you.
Ah, there you are. You are to be moved out of the apprentices' dormitory, and these are to be your new quarters. The Tranquil will move your belongings this afternoon. Go on, make yourself comfortable.
I don't need this many pillows. What are you taking me for? Wow. I guess everyone's given this many pillows.
I heard that you completed the harrowing in record time.
Maybe you would have completed the harrowing faster if you didn't sleep on so many pillows. Softies.
I never thought you'd survive the harrowing. You got lucky, didn't you?
It's Cullen!
Greetings. I'm glad your harrowing went well.
I wasn't looking forward to being run through either.
Some Templars I know discuss such things with glee. I don't share their enthusiasm. I try to serve the Maker first and foremost. As long as I am guided by his commandments, I cannot go wrong. Honestly, I've never seen an abomination, or been called on to slay one.
So you could have made a mistake?
Gregor would have guided me. Something must happen. But what if it's not obvious? Could abominations be walking among us right now?
Whoa there, don't go down that line of thought. Please. Seriously. I'm sure there are no abominations here. Please believe.
This is still new to me. Maybe one day I'll be as dedicated and driven as Knight Commander Gregor.
He is a very dedicated man, yes.
You must be busy. Perhaps we can talk another time.
I found another staff.
I wonder how the King's army fares at Ostagar. I've heard talk of a new blight.
Oh my, new blight.
I shall do it.
Mine.
Ah, it's great to see you. It's always sad when an apprentice fails the harrowing.
I'm sure it is.
It shall be done.
The Templars probably aren't that sad about it, though.
I'd avoid Leora if I were you. She's been rather testy lately.
Who?
Senior Enchanter, Leora. Over there.
Alright then.
You're not going to keep the first enchanter waiting, are you?
Wow. Okay. I will avoid her then.
Ah, this is infuriating. Another batch destroyed. Say, have you seen Wherein? Is he in the stockroom?
Yes, I just spoke to him.
Oh, excellent. He wasn't there last I looked. I hope he still has some cinnabar lying around. When I asked last week, he said he was running out.
Magical experiments. Or he's just dyeing clothes. I think cinnabar is used for dyes as well. Maybe both? Both magical experiments and dyeing clothes.
I heard about your harrowing. Congratulations. Andraste must have smiled upon you. Blessed art thou who exists in the sight of the Maker.
Stay silent.
Blessed are the penitents who seek his return. Blessed is the prophetess, purified by flame. May the chant reach the Maker's ears and tell him of our contrition, so let it be. Oh, I didn't see you there. I recite the Maker's blessings every day. It brings me peace in troubled times.
Are you in trouble?
No, not really. It's just I don't want to bore you with this.
Well, there might be a quest behind this, so let us investigate. I'm sure it isn't boring.
It gives me hope that one day the Maker will hear us. That maybe I'll be forgiven and my curse will be lifted.
Curse?
Magic? What else?
Magic isn't a curse.
Magic causes such misery. It's dangerous and vile and wicked. The Chantry must protect the world from us. Being born with something so terrible must be a punishment. I wish I could be rid of it.
It's not magic that causes misery, though. It's some mages. Magic does not have a will or a desire to do anything. It is just used. You could use your abilities to help people.
That doesn't take magic. If I could, I would dedicate my life to the Chantry, but they would never take me in. Perhaps this is just something I will have to suffer through. I should go. My mentor only allows a few minutes each day for religious contemplation.
No, helping people doesn't take magic per se, but magic still helps. If the mage helps. Ah, this is where plot happens, so we're going to explore this first.
Move along now.
Move along where? No, this is locked. Fine, back to the plot we go.
Many have already gone to Ostagar. Wynne, Aldred, and most of the senior mages. We've committed enough of our own to this war effort.
Your own? Since when have you felt such kinship with the mages, Gregor? Or are you afraid to let the mages out from under Chantry supervision, where they can actually use their Maker-given powers?
How dare you suggest?
Gentlemen, please. Irving, someone is here to see you.
Hello.
Ah, if it isn't our new brother in the circle. Come, child.
This is...
Yes, this is he.
Well, Irving, you're obviously busy. We will discuss this later.
Of course. Well, and where was I? Oh, yes, this is Duncan of the Grey Wardens.
Pleased to meet you.
You've heard about the war brewing to the south, I expect. Duncan is recruiting mages to join the King's army at Ostagar.
I would like to defend Ferelden.
With the Darkspawn invading, we need all the help we can get, especially from the Circle.
What are the Darkspawn?
They are twisted monsters that dwell underground where the sun's light cannot touch them. They have formed into a horde in the Korkari Wilds and threaten to invade north into the valley. I fear if we don't drive them back, we may see another blight.
Duncan, you worry the poor lad with talk of blights and darkspawn. This is a happy day for him.
We live in troubled times, my friend.
We should seize moments of levity, especially in troubled times. The harrowing is behind you. Your phylactery was sent to Denerim. You are officially a mage within the Circle of Magi.
My phylactery?
You may not remember, but blood was taken from you when you first came to us. This blood is preserved within a phylactery.
So they can be hunted if they turn apostate.
We have few choices. The gift of magic is looked upon with suspicion and fear. We must prove we are strong enough to handle our power responsibly. You have done this. I present you with your robes, your staff, and a ring bearing the Circle's insignia. Wear them proudly, for you have earned them.
Thank you.
It goes without saying that you shall not discuss the harrowing with those who have not undergone the rite. Now then, take your time to rest, or study in the library. The day is yours.
I'd prefer to talk now.
Impetuousness is ever the province of youth, I see.
I will return to my quarters.
Would you be so kind as to escort Duncan back to his room, child?
It would be my pleasure.
The guest quarters are on the east side of this floor, close to the library. Now, if you'll both excuse me, I have matters to discuss with Gregor.
If I escort Duncan to his quarters... Ooh. Blood magic? Irving, you naughty boy. Or he's hiding the books from other naughty boys and girls. Anyway, if I escort Duncan to his quarters, he might tell me stories from outside the tower. And considering that the tower is boring, we're gonna take stories, yes?
Thank you for escorting me. Is there something else I can do for you?
What's happening outside the tower?
Ah, I imagine you don't leave very often, do you?
Apprentices are not allowed to leave.
I am not a good source of news, I fear. I am preoccupied with the Darkspawn incursion.
How many mages have joined the king's army?
When the king sent out the call, the Circle of Ferelden sent only 7 mages to Ostagar. I asked King Kaelin's permission to come and seek a greater commitment from the Circle.
Well, 7 is a magical number. 7 is quite a few.
I hope to place a mage or 2 within every contingent. I cannot do with just 7. Mages will make all the difference in this battle. The Darkspawn have their own magic, and our resources must exceed theirs.
Do you think I could join the army?
I don't know. Do you?
Yes, I think I could help.
Then perhaps I shall speak to Irving about this later. Darkspawn are a greater threat than blood mages, even abominations. It takes decades for the world to recover from a blight. I wish the Chantry could see that. We must stop at nothing to defeat the Darkspawn. Listen to me. An old man's rantings can't be very interesting.
Some areas still haven't recovered from the blights that ravaged them, and those happened centuries ago. As an apprentice, old men talking have defined my life.
Yes, I'm sure they did.
Have you ever seen someone use blood magic?
Once, in my youth, just after I joined the Grey Wardens. I was traveling with my mentor. We encountered a group of Templars hunting a blood mage. They were quite far away, so I cannot be sure of what I saw. He forced some of the Templars to turn on their fellows. It was dreadful to behold. He would have escaped had he not overlooked one Templar who snuck up behind him and cleaved his head in 2.
So, the Grey Wardens saw Templars fighting a blood mage and they just stopped to watch. They could have... well, they wouldn't help, but they could have moved on, not just watched. It's a spectacle! I'm sure he was just trying to survive.
It is something to consider, certainly.
I might wish I had that power. There was an option to say that. I might wish it, but apparently the tower's walls have ears, or eyes, or both. So... I would not want anyone to hear me say that. Do you know anything about the Tranquil?
The mages whose connection to the Fade has been severed? Why do you ask?
I'm curious as to what non-mages think of it.
It keeps them and those around them safe. Perhaps the sacrifice is worthwhile. I cannot say.
Can you tell me more about the Grey Wardens and Darkspawn?
Certainly. I am intimately familiar with these subjects after all.
What do the Grey Wardens do?
Our duty is to battle Darkspawn wherever they appear. We are elves, humans, and dwarves united by this common purpose.
Elves?
Some of our most honored wardens have been elves. The hero, Garahel, the last warden to slay an archdemon, was one such. The Darkspawn threaten everyone. They do not distinguish between the races, and neither should we. Has being an elf in the Circle been difficult?
No, not at all.
I suppose you are mages first, and elves or humans second. Being a mage has its own set of problems, I expect. Taken from your families at a young age, told you are the prey of demons. It is not a life many would choose had they a choice.
Have there been many Darkspawn attacks?
A horde has formed within the Korkari Wilds in the south. If they are not stopped, they will strike north into the valley. We Grey Wardens believe that an archdemon is leading the horde.
Archdemon?
Darkspawn do attack the surface in ragtag bands, but archdemons are capable of rallying the Darkspawn, turning them into an unstoppable force. A horde of Darkspawn, a veritable army. It is dire news indeed. I fear this is what we will have to face.
And the king is mustering an army to deal with this threat?
Yes. Perhaps it will be enough if we play our cards right.
I've heard about Darkspawn sightings, but an entire horde?
They usually move around in small groups, but there are always more of them, lurking underground, biding their time.
I thought the Darkspawn were destroyed in the last blight.
We can't seem to eradicate them completely. Somehow they always come back.
Why were Irving and Gregor arguing about the war?
It is not my place to comment.
Please, I'd like to know.
Gregor serves the Chantry, and the relationship between the Chantry and mages has always been strained. You've realized by now that the Chantry merely tolerates magic? They watch only because they feel they must.
Yes, but they were arguing about the war.
Any mages who join the King's army can unleash their full power on the Darkspawn. In fact, I'm counting on it. Gregor may be afraid of what will happen. What if the mages decide they no longer want to be governed by the Chantry?
Is there precedent for that? As far as I know, not really. So... but who knows? Weird things happen. What are your opinions on the matter?
I believe we must defeat the Darkspawn, one way or another. My opinions end there.
I'd like to talk more, but I have duties to attend to.
Of course. Don't let me keep you.
Well, that was fun. Ah, and it looks like plot has come knocking. If it wasn't for the premium content tab, this would be the only time I know of in the entire game, including all the other origins, when the journal would be empty. Well, if you've stuck with me this long, I congratulate you and thank you. You have a masterful endurance. But now this episode has gone on quite a while, so I'll see you next time. Bye!